Hi there, and thank you for stopping by. I had designed a little Lego Clockwork Aquarium, which was recently produced for the Lego Bricklink Design Program. And I thought there's a chance you guys have yours already, or it's on its way still. Maybe you've already built it. And what I wanted to do is show you a quick little video of some of the little changes that we made along the way. And the main point of this is just in case you wanted to possibly go in the direction of making yours look the way I had it in some of the campaign videos, or in some of the photos, just because my prototype had a couple things that were slightly different than the final model. And the main reason for that, of course, is that they were making this in bulk, and therefore they needed parts to be available in large quantities. And there were simply just some parts that were just not going to be available where they could put one in every box. But you yourself might already have some of these parts, so you might be able to make a couple little tweaks and modify it, and I just wanted to give you a couple little pointers on how to do that. So what we'll do is we're going to do it kind of a little piece by piece. We'll do it theme by theme, and we'll go from there. So let's get started. I'd like to point out first that this is actually my prototype. I still haven't actually received my copy from Bricklink, but what I've got here is a bit of a hybrid. This is a combination of my prototype the way I had intended and some of the changes that were put forth by the Bricklink Design Program. To begin, let's talk about structural integrity. One of the first things that the people at Bricklink saw that they wanted changed was the way that these little handles attached to the door. Originally, these were just kind of put on. There was a jumper, a 1x2 jumper, and then there was just a single stud connection that held this little life preserver on it. And it did pop off very quickly. It was pretty easy to pop it off. So what they wanted was a more robust method to really clip it on and really hold it on. And that's where this came about. This design has, so basically it has like a little T-bar in there and some clips. And it holds it on really good. Now you can adjust it, and that actually kind of makes it so if you got a little bit thicker fingers than me, you can reach under there and grab it. You can close it back. So that was the structural design modification, and I think it's pretty good. It does change the look of it. It's not quite as simple, but it really does add to a lot of the robustness. One little thing that might stand out in terms of part availability is a particular color. This bottom piece here in mine is dark brown. This is a pretty large plate, and I happen to have one of them in dark brown, and they are not available today, so especially in bulk, in the quantity of thousands of parts. So the one that shows up in most people's boxes, well, in everybody's box, will be in black. But if you wanted to modify yours to look like mine, you could go somehow get yourself one of these in dark brown. So looking at the little island here, the main feature, the little crab, nothing changed there, so that's really good. But this little starfish, oddly enough, was not available in bulk anymore. And therefore, we had to change the starfish out for something else. So I set out and tried every little creature I could find, all the little things I could think of that I could stick here, and lo and behold, I lucked out. There was a little octopus that was available in the Lego inventory. It fits into place, and it still acts as a bit of a gear, so as the fish go by, they can rotate it. So that's one little thing. If you decided you wanted to go back to a starfish, or you can keep yours a octopus, but you can go back to a starfish. Really easy to swap it out for a starfish. Next thing that you'll notice that's different is this little helmet. What you'll maybe have seen in some of my previous campaign videos was this diving helmet, and of course back in Lego Ideas I had the proposal for a printed 1x1 or printed minifig head that had a print of a shrimp on it, so it would look like there was a shrimp in there. Of course, my little prototype, that's just a piece of paper wrapped around a minifig head, so that's not something that is mass producible. But I was hoping that they would be able, Lego Ideas would be able to print the little head, and that way everybody could have a little shrimp living inside their helmet. So this is the helmet that I used during Lego Ideas, but this helmet is just simply not available in bulk, and therefore the helmet that was put in was this more medieval looking helmet. So it's a possible choice for you to swap this out for that, and then you'd have my little diving helmet. With the diving helmet, it's a little bit bigger profile, so it doesn't quite fit as well. This guy actually, the fish can swim around it much easier. So if you do go to this, you're going to have to keep it at kind of a 45-degree angle. and that way the fish kind of glance off. They get kind of angled away from the island by sliding along this front surface, and then they flip around it. Where this one, it doesn't impede the motion of the fish at all. Now what we'll do is we'll jump to the actual backdrop from that main theme. This is the way it should come when you build it from the Bricklink Design Program. And you'll notice that the little Easter Island head uses a 1x1 brick with a bar sticking out of it for its nose. This is simply because the parts that I originally had designed for that were just simply not available. So what I wanted to do is show you how I did it, and just in case you happen to have those parts or you feel the need to change it, you can follow along. The first thing you're going to have to change is the actual backdrop without the head. So in the Bricklink Design version that I put together, it has two 1x1 little stud 1x1 plates here. And they're just stacked on top of each other, and there's a stud sticking out. And that's what the Easter Island head sticks onto. It attaches to that stud on the little sand piece. But in my old version, it actually stuck into a stud sticking out of a brick that was part of the backdrop. You'll notice that the color isn't the same, and that's simply because I don't have this piece in the medium azure. So I had to sacrifice a little bit and choose a different color blue, but since the Easter Island head covers it up almost completely, you'll never notice that the colors are slightly different. So you'd have to replace the pieces that are here in yours with a 1x1 brick, and then another 1x1 brick that has the stud sticking out. This is the one that has no recess, and it is solid in the back. Now you'll have a place to attach your Easter Island head, and I'll explain how that one's built. So for the Easter Island head itself, if you want, what you're going to do is take it apart just partially. You'll still keep the little top part, which is the roller skate with the one stud plate on top. You're going to take this bar piece and pull that out, and you're going to put in one of these 1x1 studs that has a 1x1 bricks with a stud sticking out, and it's the recess kind. This is the kind that has the hole in the back. So you're going to stick that in place. Let's see what that looks like. So now you've got that little design, and what we'll do is stick that on top of the backdrop. You could make it so it stands straight up, or you can give it a slight tilt. When you give it a tilt, you can see the blue there, but you won't see enough of it to have it matter. So now you'll take your ice pick. This is the hard to find part that Lego just doesn't have in bulk quantity anymore. So this is one you'll have to have of your own. And you'll stick that in and just drive it all the way through. It goes through that into the other one, and you end up with what I think looks like a really nice little Easter Island head. Oops. So you got that kind of a thin nose at the top, gets a little broader. You'll have the recess that kind of creates a kind of a flat chin here, and it creates kind of a little bit of a lip for the mouth. So I think this has a nice little Easter Island head look to it. So there you go. That is I think the biggest change for the entire thing. So that's it for this theme. And what I'll try to do is get another video together for the other two themes, and we'll have a little bit of fun there too. You guys have a great day, and take care.